When we imagine, we of course are accessing mental images of something that's not present to us. The word actually comes from Latin imaginare, which means to picture oneself. And it takes place in our limbic system of our brain. That's the hippocampus and the amygdala. And where do we get the information to use our imagination? We get it from our life experiences, right? What's already in our memory system. We also are informed by vicarious experiences with movies, with books, right? With media that we're constantly consuming. And then we can also draw upon all that to create, right? As kids, you were very imaginative. You came up with games, you played, figured things out. Think of the imagination that needs to be used to create, to write a book, a novel, for instance. So you need to imagine who the characters are, what they look like, what they wear, their personalities, what time period they're from, and figure out the world that they inhabit, right? If you think of Harry Potter, for instance, J.K. Rowling had to draw and create an entire world, right, through her imagination. That, of course, is informed by her research as well. But the imagination really allows designers and artists to think creatively, to explore ideas, right, to push the boundaries of what they can do. And so thinking about your imagination and how to use it is really important. And we think of it as a bit of a passive activity, unlike, let's say, we're going to draw and sketch and get on our computers and make something. And this is where we're just sitting, and it seems like we're doing nothing, but we're closing our eyes. And the way I use it is I don't really draw upon it until I know the problem quite well and I have access to all the information that I've been wanting to gather. That's when I can start piecing things together and thinking about it. So I do a lot of design while I'm just laying down with my eyes closed, and I'm literally imagining how things are going to possibly work. Now they have to be tested once I've got them in my imagination and I've worked with them. Now I can go to a media, right, and try to solve those problems. Einstein said if he had a problem to solve in 1 hour, he'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and then 5 minutes conjuring the solution. And of course, he was known for his strength in imagination. All right, so let's do a little imagination exercise together, shall we? I'm just going to walk you through kind of to remind you of the tremendous imagination that you already possess. All right, so let's close our eyes. Let's take a few deep breaths. This is where I often will ask my students to meditate before they do an exercise like this, to clear their minds, to sweep away all the unnecessary chatter that's going on in their brains. Let's imagine that we're on a beach, okay? A beautiful beach. We're sitting in a lounge chair. We're under an umbrella. The sands are white. The ocean is aquamarine. You can hear the waves quietly hit the shore. There's a comfortable breeze coming across your face. Your hair is blown back a little bit. And you're incredibly relaxed and comfortable. You can see the ocean all the way until the end of the horizon. And let's step out of your chair for a moment. And let's move into the sunlight. It's very bright. Now you can really feel the heat once you've stepped out from under the shade of the umbrella. and you can really feel it warming up your skin. As you walk towards the shore, you can feel the sand is also warm on your bare feet. You can feel your feet moving across and pushing the sand. And you've made it to the water, and now you're in the water, up to your ankles. You can feel the waves splash against your ankles. The water is very tepid, very comfortable, and as you move a little bit deeper into the water, now you're up to your knees. It's perfectly blue. You can see to the bottom, sand underneath, and now you're up to your waist. You can feel the warmth of the sun. You can feel the wet water splashing against your body. Now suddenly you start feeling lighter and lighter and very light, actually. You're starting to float. And I mean float, not just float in the water, but suddenly your body is moving up. Slowly, you're suddenly floating above the water. You've thinned out, you're getting lighter and lighter. You're 20 feet above the water. You're looking down. You're flying. Very comfortable. But the more you move upwards, the thinner you're getting. And suddenly, you're turning into water molecules. You've dissipated completely and are floating up. Now there is no solid you. You are now dissipated into small water particles, and now you're part of a cloud. And that cloud is moving across the sky towards the earth, past the shore where you were just sitting, over grasses. The cloud now is getting darker. It's getting heavier. And you coalesce to become a raindrop. Suddenly now it's raining, and you are one of the drops hurtling towards the earth at 20 miles per hour. And you hit the earth, and you can smell the wet ground, grass, and the dirt, and you get absorbed into the dark, rich soil. You're now absorbed into the dark soil and are now getting soaked up into one of the roots of a tree. Slowly, ever so slowly, you begin to move up the roots into the trunk of the tree. And over the next few hours, you're going to move up the tree. And you slowly move through the tree until you reach the end of a branch. And now you are entering the fruit of the tree, which is a lemon. And you can really smell that lemon flavor. It's very potent. And you move into the lemon. And now let's imagine we're suddenly back to ourselves. We're under the tree and we're holding the lemon now. We can smell it. We can see the incredible bright yellowness of it. We cut it open and we take a bite of part of the lemon. It's very tart. You can feel your face scrunching up and your eyes closing. nose pinching. It's very, very tart, but it tastes fantastic. So that was just a quick little exercise of what our minds are able to do and to follow and to transform. And if you notice, we were accessing many of our senses, right? Touching our feet, touching the sand, trying to feel that, the water, the smell of the lemon, maybe the sound of the waves, right? And we tasted a lemon. So as much as we're imagining it, it's very, very potent. And we're drawing on all our senses as well. All right, so important to think about how your imagination can inform your problem-solving abilities.